It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Grab a cup of coffee or hot cocoa. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Grab a cup of Java or espresso. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Tina Valentina is the host, you see. She's as classy as she can be. The co-host Greg has a lot to say. Well, he wouldn't have it any other way. Grab a cup of coffee or espresso with the Long Island Breakfast Club show. I say rise and shine, get up and go. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Grab a cup of coffee or espresso with the Long Island Breakfast Club show. Another cup of Java or espresso. Another cup of coffee or hot cocoa. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club show.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday. We're at the new set. It's St. Patty's Day. Look at the great decorations. Thank you, Susan Pinky. We miss you. Can't wait for you to come and see this place. I have some great guests, but before that, guess who's here? Bob D'Amato.
Hello, everybody.
First day. He's always at a holiday show.
Yep.
Thank you, Bob.
So very nice here. I'm really enjoying this whole vibe here.
Isn't it unbelievable?
Really unbelievable when I walked in, really.
It puts you in that mood.
Puts
that
you right in the
glow.
mood.
Yeah.
So, being that we're talking about the mood, I want to welcome you to this wonderful studio. I
Thank
came
you.
with a special song today to sing for you.
Okay.
And a beautiful song called Welcome to My World, dedicated to the Long Island Breakfast Club show. So here
Very
we go.
nice.
Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Miracles I get still happen now and then. Step into my heart. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world, filled with you in mind. Knock and the door will open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you'll be given the key to this heart of mine. We'll be waiting here with our arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
Bob D'Amato.
Thank you.
In the house.
Thank you.
Sounded great
Thank
as
you
always.
so much. Thank you.
You're
I'm
full
so happy to
of
be
color.
here.
What are you, sunning? What are
I
you
don't
doing?
know. I'm just full of color. It's singing
and you have on my favorite color, light
singing,
blue.
enjoying life. That's all.
Light blue is my favorite color for a man's
You
shirt.
told me red.
No,
Okay.
red is my favorite color.
Told me
It's
black.
my favorite color. But on a man, I like light blue. But I do. I wear red and black a lot.
This
Yes.
is the first time I'm wearing red,
Yeah, really?
and I'm wearing it because you told me that was a
It
favorite
is.
color.
It is. It is.
I tell you, Bob is winning everything tonight.
No,
I'm going home.
Yes.
I'm done.
But anyway, thank
But
you for
thank
being
you so much
here.
for having me
And
here.
Debbie's in the audience, his
Yes.
lovely wife.
Debbie Reynolds
Looking
is in
great.
the house.
Debbie Reynolds, that's her maiden name.
Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yep.
And
I
I
can
know
say I
them
met Debbie Reynolds.
since I grew up in Floral Park
Yep.
with
So,
Bob. Believe it or not, a
It's
long
a great,
time ago.
great day.
So yes, it is. So it's raining men today.
Yes, it is.
I got Rich Scotty,
Hey,
the
Rich.
DJ
man.
from heaven, and he's going to be talking all about his everything that he does with the show.
Before you
And
go
I
any
got
further,
flowers.
she brings a lot of color into people's lives. So
Oh, that's
that's brings some
sweet.
color.
Thank you very much. And then I have Mr. Joey Gem. I love the name, Joey,
Joey
Gem.
Gem.
It's like you're a gem.
Yeah, well, I don't know if my wife would say that.
I know Joey
You
Gem a long time. Right,
You
Joey?
guys-
Bob, yeah, I mean, like, you were so happy to see me. You couldn't
When
believe
was
it.
the last time you saw him?
Actually, I saw Bob at an event a few months ago. With was it Clooney was there, the boxer,
yes,
Ricky
yes,
Bird,
yes.
the guitar player.
Yes.
He's
Big
always
event,
Ricky
yes.
Bird
And he
is
was
always
singing,
around.
Yes.
and I was just blown away, and I became a fan again. Because every time I
Thank
see
you.
Bob sing,
Thank you,
I
Joey.
become a fan.
Yeah,
Well, I
well,
am a fan of yours, definitely.
I used to
You've told me that.
I used to follow Bob everywhere because he's the only performer that lets me put up a table next to him,
Yes.
and he promotes me, and then I sell my books. But
Great.
it's
great,
really
great.
something. But the first thing we always do on the show is break bread
Oh wow!
because I believe in that, the Italians. So everybody gets bread today.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Okay, and we're gonna drink
Want
some
some,
wine.
Anita?
Yeah, you want
wine.
to pour the
Oh,
wine?
Oh, some vino.
Somebody ate this one.
Yep. There you go. That's a thing.
I feel like I'm at church.
Well, I believe my father taught me. You break bread with people, they become your friends for life.
That's
Yes.
wonderful.
And you know the Italians, they just eat.
We do, yes.
I
that's
mean,
what
we
do.
eat. So, on the Breakfast Club, we meet, we eat, and we seek. That's our
Oh,
mantra.
nice. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you all for
Salute.
coming.
Salute.
And
Salute.
thank Bobby
I
Lucera.
say cent'anni, whatever.
Bobby
Yeah.
Lucera,
There we go.
okay.
Yeah. So when I saw, I said to myself, I'm going to say it's raining men because it is. And you're all right here.
That's right.
It's a great day for me.
That's it.
So Bob, what's up?
What's up? A lot of things are up. I just got done in 2023 performing. I actually did 104 gigs in 2023. It was a fabulous year.
And look at you. You
And,
still look good.
I said I was cutting down a little bit this year, but the calls are coming in. The summer concerts are
I
booked
saw
already.
a list that
Yeah, the
I'm
summer
blown away
concerts are booked. I'm booked already in Floral Park. I'm booked already at the Floral Park
library, that's a given.
We're
every
booked
year.
at the Our Lady of Mount Carmel in Franklin Square already.
Another given.
The Goodfellows Club in September. I'll be back there in Woodhaven. And I'm going to be at Eisenhower Park on September 4th.
Which is another great gig. Is
Another-
that for the birthday thing? Or?
No, that's an outdoor gig at Eisenhower Park.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the noontime concerts that they have every Wednesday. And then that evening, we do a noontime concert in Eisenhower Park. And then that evening, we go to La Focaccia in Levittown.
Which is another place I hang out.
And that's Sal Panetta's La Focaccia, a great place.
He's a doll.
It is one
Gotta
of the
go to
greatest
eat.
places.
Tell
yes.
him the Breakfast Club sent you.
Great entertainment, great food, and Sal he's the host with the most. He really is. He
And
treats
the
everybody great.
Valentine's Day show that
Yes.
we went to, the whole club, it was magnificent.
You guys all made it a night. You
And
really did.
we
You
had
made
about
that night,
17
yes.
people there. It was great.
We had a
And
great time.
Sal and I really bonded that
Yes.
night. You know,
And
he
then,
actually gave me a rose on the way out, so you know, that's a good thing. 'cause-
Romantic.
and then, as you know, the other place that we perform is Cassiarano's in Mineola
Yes,
with
another
Danny
place.
and
Have you ever
Giancarlo.
been there?
No, I have not.
You gotta
Beautiful
go.
I gotta get out
atmosphere.
more.
Yes.
I really do.
Tell Danny I sent you.
So
I'm
Yes.
gonna go,
Cassiariano.
I'm gonna go together with you. What
Yeah.
are you talking
All the way
about?
in the back.
yes, on that
The
strip.
food.
Do you
It's a
know
strip.
guy,
The
Frank
chef's
Challo?
name is
Yeah,
Giancarlo.
He's a big cruise guy. He's
Yeah.
always on cruises. He
Anything
does
he's
saying
Sinatra.
is
Yeah.
right.
Wonderful.
because it's a lot of food.
Yeah, that's a good
But
place, actually. It's like a
in
hidden
Mineola,
gem.
on
It's in the
Jan-
corner.
Jan-
And then Valentina, of course, in December. My December is practically all booked up already with private parties. So it's going to be another great year.
So I guess I better get you on for the holiday parties
Yes,
early.
yes.
It's unbelievable.
It really is. I'm just as long as people love this music. As you know, I call my show Music, Love, and Memories. We bring
And
the
it's-
music with a lot of love, and we bring back
It
memories.
never goes away.
And a part of that show I do is called Bobby Sings Bobby. Bobby.
I used to say he did Bobby does
Bobby.
Bobby.
Bobby does Bobby. It's not Bobby does Bobby. It's Bobby
And I
sings
got
Bobby.
in trouble. And everybody was saying,
I sing the
"What are you
Bobby
talking
songs
about?"
like Bobby Rydell, Bobby Vinton, Bobby Darren, all those songs that bring back a lot of memories. So
You
we're
want a
still
snack?
enjoying that.
This
No,
is
thank
what's
you.
called a Pocky.
No, thank
I'll
you.
do a Pocky
You
because
want a
my,
Pocky?
my name is Rocky. I better do a Pocky.
Hey, Rocky the Pocky.
Yeah.
All right.
So you have a lot coming up.
A lot coming up,
And you have a personal little thing
a
you're
personal
doing?
little thing that we're going to be doing is in April. We're going to be going on a European cruise. So that's going to be a lot of fun
Boy,
with my
that's
wife.
like a second honeymoon or something.
Yeah, it will be. Yes. That's why
These
Debbie's
two
losing
are
so
so
much
much
weight.
in love, and she
Yes.
does. You can see it.
Still smiles when he sings. After,
And
after hearing him
dances.
9,000
She goes
times.
to every show and dances
He's
with
Yes,
us.
laughing.
she does. She goes to every
amazing.
show. She really does.
She's very supportive.
She's my greatest supporter, and I drive her crazy before I leave the house, but she is my greatest supporter.
And then she used to be the meter maid in Floral Park. You know how many tickets she gave me?
I think I that's where I know the name.
Uh-oh.
That's where I got. Okay, I understand. But I was very.
Well, let me tell you a story. We go to events, right?
Right.
And sometimes we'll be sitting at the dinner or something, and somebody will say to Debbie, you look very familiar. And I say,
Don't tell them.
did you ever get a ticket on Tulip Avenue?
She was it. She was
Okay.
it. But look at, she worked all those years. I
Yes.
read your Facebook the other day about the memories and how so much time has passed.
Right.
And I thought it was so lovely because I'm a Floral Parker.
Right.
I don't live there anymore, but I love it. I shop there. I never moved. I moved, but I
Did
never
you see
moved.
the new store opening up on Tulip?
Yeah.
Haagen-Dazs? It's Bobby.
Is Stella
From
still there?
Levine's.
Stella Ristorante?
It's him?
That's him.
I didn't
Still
know.
there?
Yes.
Stella's still
Stella's,
there.
yeah, she's
Stella's
a
is
sponsor.
still
She
there.
My
comes
parents
on the
lived there
show.
years ago in the early 80s, and we used to, Stella's, and there was a place on the corner, I think it's gone, Arturo's Ristorante.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
yeah,
in
yeah.
Jericho.
Oh, man,
that was
That was
great.
on
It
Jericho.
like right before Jamaica
Yeah,
turned
that's
to
not
Jericho.
around, yeah.
It burned down or something.
No, but I went to school with Stella's, the Cerrone, the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, the place was good.
We had a great run there during the pandemic. Remember with the tent? That was a great run.
He
Oh,
used
they
to
did
sing
it. They
there,
set it
too.
up.
It was packed every month when we were there singing.
That's
It was
great.
great.
That's
We
Yeah,
had a good
so
time.
you know we have a lot of nice things to talk about.
Yes.
So now you never knew
No,
Joey.
no.
So now you guys are meeting for the first time, and you're like buddies
Right there,
already.
brother. With
Pleasure,
music,
yes.
music. You got a lot of musical people on the show today.
That's wonderful.
You know what? It just happens. I
And a
have a
musical
way
audience.
of I don't know.
You put things
connecting,
together the
yeah.
right way.
And whatever, it works. It works.
But I heard him. I clicked on his Facebook and I saw some of his stuff, and the guy can play.
Oh,
He can
yeah.
play that
Thank you.
guitar.
And then look at him. He's so cute.
Oh,
Handsome.
Stop.
He's wearing red, my favorite color.
I tell you, that's that.
I just thought it was blue.
You know,
He's
See,
got
J-
blue-
Joey.
I got double ponytails.
Joey, see how they change?
I'm telling you exactly. Yeah, that's it. They change overnight.
They change
I've
overnight.
I have had that experience happen to me.
Yeah.
I tell you, and Valentina. But it's okay. We
But-
love you. That's the important thing.
Thank you. You're
It's
so
like
sweet.
you know. My parents taught me, women are always allowed to change their mind. So as men, once we get used to that, we're gonna do fine, right?
Well,
It's like that's just how it is.
but but there were good women out there. There were bad women. There were bad men. There were good of everything and bad. But my thing is women's women. So
Yes.
your wife,
Yes.
for what she does
Yes.
in the medical field,
Yes.
is a woman's woman. Those women are always there for each other.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and so that's a big thing.
She's not catty. She's busy. She's focused on her career. She's focused on what she needs. She's focused on helping people, saving
Right,
lives.
and right.
So I mean, I think that gives she doesn't have time to be catty. With
Exactly.
It, and she supports a lot of great movements. and
Yeah,
everything, so.
yeah, and that's how we got started. And any bitches that walked in the door, they were thrown out. No, that's the truth. There's a sign
Yeah.
where we used to meet. Bitches are not here.
Welcome.
Exactly.
Great.
And I think we only threw out maybe 3 people in 16 years.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's not too bad.
Yeah, great. Well, I'd like to know a little bit more what he does because I just met him. And,
Okay.
and I'm just curious because
Rich is a very interesting guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. Interesting or nuts, whatever you want
was
to
it
say.
Joe Piscopo's birthday party?
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been. When I was about 23, my father had a printing company, and I did not want to go into printing. I was like, it's a wonderful life. George
Yeah.
Bailey's leaving. No, I'm not doing that. And I moved to Las Vegas with 3 friends.
Oh,
And it was January 3rd, 1980. I'll never forget because it was like 5 degrees out. It was freezing. And 2 cars, no cell phones. Back then, you just drew a picture like the Golden
Right,
Orchard
yeah.
was stopping. We made it. Nobody had money. And we made it there in 2.5 days. We got to Phoenix. It was like 75 degrees. So we're like, this is great. So we get to Vegas. It was a small town back then, 250,000 people, and there were 2 nightclubs, Paul Anka's Jubilation and the Brewery. So I had my records, you know, as a DJ.
Yeah.
This is, you know, I started like when Saturday Night Fever. I cut my hair short, you know, put the cool shirt on.
was the hot
That's where the
stuff.
girls are. So I go to Paul Anka's Jubilation. They're like, you'll never get in. It's Chicago Mafia owns it. Forget it. I walk in. I hear the DJ play a song. It fades. He doesn't mix. I go, wow, they don't mix out here, you know. So I went up to the booth. It was way up in like heaven. I said, you know, I'm from New York. I noticed, you know, the song ended. You didn't mix. He goes, no. They fired the real guy for doing cocaine. They told him play the records. So I was like, what? So he goes, yeah, I work in the kitchen. He goes, I'm just playing. So I'm like, what?
Oh, that's so funny.
So I go downstairs, and the doorman who became the manager was Steve Sharippa, Bobby Bacala from the
yeah.
Sopranos.
Oh, I want to
Steve
meet
Sharippa, yeah.
so bad.
I'm trying. I told him. I just saw him last month.
I want to get him to come down.
So he says,
him.
"Where you from?" I said, "Queens." He goes, "Brooklyn, close enough. Go get your records." You know. So, and I worked there for 3 years. I met every celebrity you can imagine. The first
yeah,
night I
sure.
worked, I came back the next night with my Creator Records. I looked down, and Tony Curtis is calling me from the podium. Jack Jones, Tom Jones, Sinatra, Sammy Davis. They were all, you know, whatever sports guys were in
Yeah.
town. Whoever was performing was there. Cher and like unbelievable. So I had a nice run. Andy Anka, Paul Anka's father, ran the club, and Paul Anka was playing at Caesar's Palace. And this is the one time I think I actually really impressed my father. He was a tough guy to impress. I said, Mr. Anka, you know, could you get me some tickets for Paul's show? He goes, yeah. I said, just let me know what they are. He goes, don't be silly. I'll get you tickets. So my aunt and uncle and my parents came. He set up a table, like here's the stage. He set up a table against the stage. And there they are, the 4 of them, and everybody else is back here. Pulls down the screen, and he puts on Times of Your Life. And he had all daughters, and he said, you know, these are my daughters, these are my children. Speaking of children, my disc jockey's parents are in from New York with his aunt and uncle.
Oh,
Ladies and
wow.
gentlemen, give him a nice round of applause. Gives my mother a rose, gives her a
Wow.
kiss on the cheek,
Wow.
shakes my father's hand. And my mother, the next day, she almost like she was embarrassed to see. She goes, even your father was impressed. Like that. You know? So
That was a good day for you.
Oh, it was a great day. But I had a great time out there. I made a lot of friends. My best friend is still, he's in entertainment. He talked the MGM into buying the rights to the Studio 54 logo and reopening Studio 54 in 1998. And guess who went out there for 7 years? Every holiday weekend. I spun every holiday weekend. They opened an Ultra Lounge with all movie stars. I did
Awesome.
that. And then we did some productions together and stuff. And now he's still involved. There's a place called Planet 13. It's going to be the largest nightclub in the United States. They're building it right now. And-
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
It's the biggest pot emporium in on the West Coast, and now he talked them into forget the pot, do a nightclub.
As in the pot?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
amazing, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be back out there at some point,
amazing.
and now I'm doing a lot of private parties. I did Joe Piscopo's birthday party in the summer. I just did a big event about 2 weeks ago for Pfizer in Manhattan.
cool.
And there's no real clubs anymore per se, like you know
Yeah.
when I was doing it in my heyday. But I had some productions out. I made a couple of records and the private parties, and you know,
Well, he
Tina
did
knows.
Eddie Sessa. You know Eddie Sessa?
I know her. Yes.
Yeah, he's a doll.
Yeah.
Well, him and Eddie did one of my clients' Halloween party. At the house, they turned it into like unbelievable.
Oh, it was great.
Oh, yeah.
It was
They
great.
had hanging things everywhere.
Skeletons and
And-
we got lucky because
And he's a sponsor for the show. It's
great.
Tranquility Spa.
nice guy,
Oh,
really
yeah.
nice guy.
Very good.
Very nice people.
And we got lucky that, and I remember it was supposed to be because he's like it was in his backyard, and he had everything
you'd never
set
know
up.
it.
And it happened to be I don't know if you remember this past Halloween. It was 78 degrees on Halloween,
Yeah, it was
and
hot.
that's my birthday, so I was really happy.
Oh, you're
I
the
was like,
31st
my birthday,
Halloween baby. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
And I
On
played
Halloween.
the witch with giving
That's it.
all the ideas about what's going to happen in your future. And we had a great time.
Oh, it was great.
so
So that's what I do. But my love, other than now I work for PC Richard. I had a printing company in Manhattan for 25 years, and printing went, the phone
Print
and
is dead.
computers. So with the benefits, I was paying Cobra like $2,200 a month. I said I better get a
That's why I saw
kind
you
of thing
last
with the Bennies.
PC Richards.
yeah. So I work at in PC Richard. I just moved to Carl Place location
Oh, okay.
by Roosevelt Field.
Gotcha.
And
nice store.
and then I do a lot of impressions, and I
It's
do them
unbelievable.
throughout. In the
Oh, that's
store,
so
I'll
cool.
joke around.
Awesome.
So I'll do I had a TikTok. They took it down because I got a little political. But anyway, I do. I had
Does the show go politics?
Can you do
Does
it?
go
Can you do it
A
here?
little,
Oh, yeah.
little. I don't get too much. It didn't work in politics.
So I don't know who your favorite movie star is, but one of my best, which I started doing a few years ago, is Morgan Freeman. I love doing him.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Because I can do like certain impressions. I can't do a whole, like a paragraph. I can only
Right.
do like one line, but I'll do Morgan. I can stay in character.
Do it.
I just got released from Shawshank Penitentiary, where I spent most of my adult life. The microphone's down on, Bob. They're not
okay.
expecting me to sing. But I heard this guy, Joey Jan, playing on the guitar. And me and my friend Andy Dufresne heard that sound come over the walls of Shawshank. Past
See,
the
Bob,
barbed
even
wire.
Morgan Freeman knows me.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
Yes.
And if you don't go see Bob D'Amato before he goes on his
Here
world
we go.
like Chris, you're a little mentally irregular, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, I got to invite him to a dinner party. That's going to be a lot of fun. Come in character. Just come.
I love doing it. I love
He's
that.
good, so
That
good
is
at it.
great.
Yeah, people love it too.
That's
I
great.
do a lot of pranks with that. Like,
Yeah, but you could probably do a lot of birthday messages.
Do you
and
do
stuff.
voiceovers?
Yeah, well, I signed up for Cameo, and I got some hits on it because
Oh, cool.
on
Did people
Cameo,
hire you?
yeah. So I'm not like like they'll say I want John Travolta to say
Yeah.
happy birthday, and he
Yeah.
charges
Right.
$1,000,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
really, but I can't do the video,
Right.
But I do the audio, and I get requests. Can you do Marlon Brando or
Awesome.
You do your darling a great service by saying happy birthday to my friend Vinny, and whatever it is.
That's awesome.
And so I get a kick out of doing it.
That's
and
great.
when you do what you love, you guys
Yes.
know.
It's not work.
There's nothing like it. And they pay you, and
Exactly.
you usually eat and you drink, and it's better than that, right?
I brought up the politics thing as a funny thing.
Yeah, it's
because
okay.
I remember
like
growing
politics
up.
too,
I remember growing up. My parents would never tell me who they voted for.
No, well,
And they wouldn't. They wouldn't tell me.
my father
was
made us
undiscussed.
vote.
It's like a private thing.
You
Yeah.
had to vote for Italians. That's it.
Well, the situation. Well, listen.
I'm voting for Mussolini. I don't care. It's Italian.
Well, they had a problem when because Cuomo wasn't running for governor, when he didn't want to run for president, the original Cuomo.
Oh, right. Mario.
And, and they were saying, and they were like, oh, he's in the mob, he's this, is that. It's like that was the reason he didn't run. He had so many skeletons, but regardless of that. And my parents were so disappointed because he was Italian. But the thing is, today, people talk about politics. It's everybody's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my parents, I did not know who they voted for. We don't talk about those. Not in a bad way. They were just like, oh no,
They
that's very
just
It's a
didn't
private
bring it
thing.
up.
because they didn't want me going out and telling people. So, it is a very private thing, and it's so this is a joke because I love calling in, talk about stuff. I have time on my hands. I call in I listen to POTUS radio on Sirius Radio, so I call into all the shows. I like Michael Smerconish. I call him because he's right down the middle. He's very fair.
Yes, yeah. You're into the
I
politics.
used to call Cuomo all the time, and I just used to bust his balls.
Chris Cuomo?
Chris Cuomo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to call him all the time on the POTUS radio, and he was doing the CNN show. But then Don Lemon, I predicted. I said Don Lemon's going to get fired because he's extremely
Way out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
way out.
and he did.
Yep.
I said that Chris was going to get fired just because, and he did because they got to a point where they just felt like they could say anything and
Yep.
do
Yeah,
anything,
that's
and like
true.
no one's going
Yeah.
to get in trouble for it.
Right.
And I really think that they pushed the envelope. And this has nothing to do on whose side you are, right or left. And the other thing is, but now I tell everybody a joke. They're like, well, do you support so and so? And I said, one of the only reasons I would vote for Trump is because so many people that promise me that if he wins, they're going to leave the country, and I just want to call them and say, "Hey, listen, Trump won. You got to leave. It got nothing to do with politics."
They said that last time, Joey, and
I
they're
know,
still
it's
here.
I'm like, no.
Bunch of
There are a
lies.
couple people I'm calling.
Hey,
If
Joey,
he wins,
you ever call into Howard Stern?
I did years ago. I had a brief encounter with the Howard Stern show back in the day. Good stuff.
You
Right.
didn't strip in the studio.
No,
did
I
you?
wasn't. Yeah, he didn't want me to. But the thing was, like, he's just, I think his show has outlived its.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like,
But
I
he's
mean,
still there.
he's still there. He's amazing. I mean, listen, he did everything. There were many days and many road trips. When you would tour
Yeah.
and you'd be on the road, and with Sirius when Sirius came out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a lifetime Sirius membership.
And his
Right.
his
I have
movies are
two
great.
radios that I bought when Howard first went to Sirius,
Right.
and they said if you switch over, you get a lifetime. Man, they get pissed off every time I buy a car. I'm like, I want to switch my lifetime membership to. But you know what they did now with that? Unfortunately, like certain shows you cannot get, like if you're the lifetime member.
Yeah.
Like the Howard Stern show, now you have to pay extra for it,
Right.
which is fine. Everybody's got to make a living,
Well,
But
yeah.
so to answer your question, absolutely yes, and I love all the guys. I did something with Jackie the Joke Man. Not too long ago, a couple of years ago, not even about a year ago,
Yeah.
at the Roslyn Hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did a performance with Jackie. I love the guy. But his jokes, I don't think he realizes are a little outdated. Meaning,
Oh, okay.
you
Oh,
can't
politically,
insult people
yeah.
in the audience.
Really, you got to be careful.
And yeah, you can't body shame. Oh, you can, but people are like, oh my
they're gonna
God,
go,
what's
well,
going
now,
on? Yeah, you know what I'm
today.
saying? It's like,
Well, that's like the other night I was watching on YouTube Don Rickles.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, he was great.
Oh.
I never. It was the first time I've seen him on Johnny Carson
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
the shows.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was the first time I saw him in a live concert.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he was
Unbelievable.
I
dirt.
saw him at Westbury years ago.
Yeah.
You couldn't get away with that stuff now.
No, no,
It's
it's a
like
different
Rodney.
world.
I
Yeah,
do Rodney,
Rodney,
and
yeah.
like one of my jokes.
He's
is-
my favorite.
I love
Oh,
Rodney.
Rodney,
Like he'll
right
say,
there.
"What a crowd! What a crowd!"
Yeah.
Last week I did a show for midgets. They gave me a standing ovation. I didn't even know.
That's great.
Well,
You can't do it today.
Yeah.
You can't do it
I
today.
gotta
did
be
it
honest
too
with
late.
you.
Yeah.
I
it in
know
there.
Anthony Rodia because I originally started at Governor's
Oh, okay.
many
Governor,
years
yeah,
ago.
Yeah,
the first show.
Yeah, yeah.
And Anthony was there,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a neighbor. And I went to see him the other night, which I haven't. I was shocked. I loved it, but a lot of sex talk.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that it kind of turned it a little.
What, it
you
was
know-
pushing the envelope?
A lot
Yeah.
of sex talk, and his wife and daughter were in the audience.
Yeah.
I was shocked because I was a little embarrassed. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that it ended really with Eddie Murphy. I think he did it best. A lot of that stuff. I
Yeah.
really appreciated his comedy because it was fresh and it was new at the time. You know what I'm saying? But now, if you have Instagram, it's the women comics
Yes,
that
yes.
are heavily embarrassing. Sexually
People,
embarrassing
exactly.
because they come out and they just say anything.
You
that's
know,
on their
his
mind.
other show is outrageous with
Yeah.
the Italian father
Right,
and
right,
mother,
right.
and grandmother,
and like
you know.
Maniscalco too. The same.
We went
Yeah.
to see
There's
Maniscalco in Jersey, in Atlantic City.
That's
He's
nice.
pretty funny.
He's very funny.
We
But,
recently saw him on the Debbie and I Love Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We went to her
She's,
show again.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was the guest that day.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So it was,
You know,
He's
my,
good.
my wife and I, we're redoing our kitchen, and I
Yes.
decided this is really funny, and I don't know how big everyone's family is, but in our family, or I should say more my wife's side of the family.
Is she Italian, you went?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, she's Italian. And I say like, yes, yeah, she's Italian.
Even
So,
everybody?
and I think we have, I don't know, when we have a family party, it's like 50 people. I mean, like you can't even have a small gathering because everybody's got to come, right?
Wow.
But you know the Costco tables
Yeah.
that you fold, and chairs, all the chairs,
Yeah.
and the Italian families, they put them out, they put them all together, right? So what I did, now we just redid the kitchen, and we have, God bless, we did an extension, and we have a pretty nice sizable kitchen. So I decided to make tables. I'm going to send you a picture
Okay.
out of wood, like 4x4 bar tables, counter height, because we have the room, and I put them against the wall. So this way, I don't have to open that freaking white table from Costco every time family comes over, to put the cakes on.
And
to
somebody
put-
gets their
So now I
finger
put it.
or
I could.
whatever.
I said, look. I said we could put all the tables together. Put a little cloth over it, and you could put all the pastries and stuff on there. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're right."
The Viennese table.
Exactly, because it's like the party's about to end every time in an Italian household because everybody's like picking up the tables, closing up all your folding chairs are closing.
Sure,
I'm like,
it's-
now I'm buying bar stools for the house everywhere. We have our
that's great.
dining room, So thinking about it, I was thinking about Maniscalco because it would be a great skit for him.
Yeah.
With the whole the way you got to see us, we're like animals. We got like 3 tables to close. My brother-in-law's helping. You got that? Where are we bringing it? Put it in the garage. Put it over there. It's like, oh, that's my table. I got to take it back home. I'm like, enough. We got our own tables. I made them. They're so heavy you can't move them. You can always push them together.
In my house, up until I was 50, I had big parties, big everything.
I saw a picture of your family in your house.
Yeah.
I think recently.
Yeah, but my daughter wasn't allowed to leave till the whole house was clean, vacuumed,
well,
and
that's how
everything.
it is.
And her husband used to do it with her.
Yeah.
So when they would be gone. I'm in my pajamas by the time they left. And then I gave up cooking at 50.
Yeah, listen.
And now I go out, and I have this great guy. His name is Patrick. He's from Ireland.
Uh-huh.
He's my significant other, and we go out all the time.
And yeah,
And I have a great,
now you
know,
make reservations and stuff.
I do,
cooking.
and he
There's nothing wrong
teases
with
me.
that.
He teases me a lot. He goes, "Oh, these Italians," because he's from
Yeah,
Ireland.
yeah.
But again, great things happening. And the best thing I did was change my name back to Valentina because I was always embarrassed of it,
Yeah,
At
it's a beautiful
50?
name.
and just come out of my comfort
You
zone.
were embarrassed of that name?
Yeah, because
It's a
when I
beautiful
was a kid, everyone made fun of me and they called me Valentine.
And Janik is
Janek's my husband, who's
okay,
in heaven.
and that's
He's Polish.
Croatian. Oh, Polish.
Polish.
Sounds almost like a Croatian. Well, yeah.
But I was raised Polish because my best friend, who this book is about, is Polish.
Oh.
And my father made us go to Polish school.
Really?
Because my father made all the nuns in the Polish church their desks and everything.
Oh.
So I'm really Polish by descent because
Right.
my best friend, Jerry, you'll see the story about her, we've been friends since second grade.
Wow.
And that's, again, Floral Park.
You know, I'm doing some work with an amazing, and I went to Mark Wood. He's an electric violinist.
Oh.
And I'm just a brief story. So Mark Wood is an amazing. He's one of the inventors of the electric violin.
Really?
And he grew up in Port Washington. But I went to see him perform the other day. I'm recording with him, but I went to see his performance, and I think it was in Belmorris, and. He told a story how his family came from, his great grandfather from Canada. They drove back in early 1900s. They settled in Port Washington. They've developed this big wood factory. Wood is the last name,
Yeah,
right? Amazing. And the thing is, I didn't know any of this about the guy. I mean, I talked to him, we record together, we write, we perform, and I'm like going, oh my God. And then he said that they made furniture. He put up a picture of Amelia Earhart. So his dad, father, built furniture for Amelia
Wow.
Earhart.
Wow, that's cool.
But isn't it something when you just start talking to people, how
And
you
yeah,
just
you
find
learn
these
about them,
things
right?
out?
And I'm like, there's so much more to this human being
Oh.
than his greatness. He's a virtuoso.
Yeah.
He went to Juilliard and things like that. And I'm like, I'm sitting here with, first of all, he's amazing, but just to sit here and know that history. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, come on. I mean, that's a big
Joey,
name.
are you familiar with, I think her name is Susan Aquila? Yes?
Yes.
She plays the electric violin.
Yes,
I've seen her.
well, I was her musical director for many
Really?
years. Oh, yes.
Really? What a small world.
Yeah, yeah,
Look
yeah.
at
I
that.
just saw her recently. She's been playing in the orchestra for Bocelli.
Yeah, in the orchestra, yes.
Wow.
And she, very, again, it's one of those things. Yeah, I was her musical director, recorded her albums.
Wow.
And wrote a lot of music for her.
Wow.
And, and it's,
You're
yeah,
amazing.
listen,
You have
there's
a lot of secrets.
there's a lot of artists all over the place.
This
So I
is
want to
true.
know more about Joey.
Yeah, so first of all,
yeah.
I know you're a great guitar player.
I want to know.
I know
Give us
you-
the basics,
yeah.
and then because
Because
now I know there's more to this human being on the other end of the
Well,
table.
yeah, well, in kindergarten I liked chocolate. No, I'm kidding. So, I lost. I mean, really, my life began after I lost my son in 2017.
I'm so sorry for
He
that
was,
loss.
Very sorry
He was
about
2.5 years old.
Yeah.
And we have a vacation home out in Wading River, Long Island, and a distracted driver. It's a private community, and a distracted driver came in there. She didn't know where she was going, and she took a curve, went onto the grass. He was playing there with his cousins. There's like 11, 12 cousins all together playing. My daughter was there, and she hit him right in the head, and
I'm so sorry.
thank you.
That's-
And he got, there was my wife administered, well, she saw right away, that's what she does. She's a critical care specialist in pediatrics, and she realized that her own son wasn't going to,
Make
he
it.
was gone. And so life took change. I was always a musician, but I was more into, business and extremely, like any businessman, aggressive.
Yeah.
And, traveling.
Pushing
and,
the envelope.
and trying, money more. And, so at that time, when that happened, basically our lives just stopped.
Yeah.
I went into what I'd like to call a depressive
State.
coma. I mean, I was on my couch for about a year.
Yeah, I could relate to that.
And many of you know, when you're in business or you're doing anything, when you're running the show, and then you have something so dramatic happening, such a horrible situation, you can't function anymore.
No.
Right.
So I basically gave up on
It's a
everything.
trigger.
I gave up all my businesses. I did not want to do anything with anything. Money obviously didn't mean anything anymore to me. And then my wife, being a critical care specialist, and because I did a lot of research after this happened, and this goes for anyone in life who
Right,
goes
right.
through a traumatic experience. It doesn't just have to be your child; it could be a loved one of anyone. I started doing a lot of research, and I learned that people who are self-driven, in a sense that where it's our own business, self-employed, artists, things like that, we don't have the support always that someone like who has a career like a doctor,
Like a corporate
or an
career,
attorney,
right.
a corporate
Yeah,
career.
I had
there
that,
they
so I
have,
get it.
They have their colleagues support them. You could take time
You had a
away
team,
from work,
right.
right? Don't worry, we'll be here for you. You have disabilities and this.
They take
right.
collections for you. They give you your sick
exactly.
days.
So my wife
all
had
that.
a good support
system, yeah.
and which and they did everything they could to make sure that she stayed and continued in her path.
Right.
And now I think she's a much more passionate doctor because of the situation, right? Me, on the other hand, I had my family, but I had nothing. I lost my son, and then a good friend of mine from many years ago, he called me up and he said, "Listen, Joe, we want to get our band from when we were like in when we were kids, like 20s or whatever, together. Want to do a reunion show." And all my people came from Colorado, from California, where everybody lives. And I put the guitar back on after so many years, and I went out there, and I just felt this
You had to search.
energy. And then I had a successful career prior to that,
Right.
but nothing that I have today, And,
Yes.
and it's only my son, this 2017 to now, my career just went through the roof, and it's because when I'm talking about big celebrities came to my aid, not financial aid. They came and said, "What do you need from us?
Mentally,
what do you need to
whatever.
do? We need, And I started developing this rapport with people that are that's so amazing,
Wow.
and I always thank God, and I thank my son, and I thank
Sharing
the
the
people
pain.
around me every day to give me I thank God for the life I have right now. Okay, even though I had this tremendous loss.
Sure, of course.
I feel, we had 2 other children afterwards, 2 girls. One's
Wow.
4, one's going to be 2.
Oh, that's great.
They're
We're done.
babies.
We're
You
done
know
with
what?
babies. But you
You
know what?
got
Hey,
little
listen,
girls.
I didn't appreciate my kids. I would say I didn't appreciate them prior to this because it was because I was always hustling.
Yeah.
Always looking for make a dollar.
Yeah, and now less
it's-
is more.
Right.
Mhm.
And so for me, I didn't appreciate my kids. Because I was, when you're in your 30s and 40s and you're like, I got to, do this, got to do that. Now it's like, oh my God, my daughter, I forgot what it was, but I was home and I had to go to a studio session. I had a recording, and she woke up and she was crying. My wife was working, my cousin who watches the child wasn't there. She had to step out for a minute, whatever. I picked her up and I just sat down with her and held her till she went back to sleep.
Aw.
And
And you were there.
And exactly. And I said, wow. I realized that
You missed a lot.
many years ago, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I would have been, this freaking kid, I'm going to be late. I got to get, what I'm
Right,
saying?
it was more
but
important
I didn't
to
give
you,
a
right.
shit.
It taught you something.
I sent a text message saying, listen, I'm going to be about 15 minutes, half hour late. And
it was fine.
That was it.
Yeah.
And life went on.
And so, yes, yeah, I
so,
get
so,
that.
so as horrible as it is, in a way, and I had a dream the other night, and get more into it. I love writing music. I mean, music just comes to me. Complete compositions. You'll appreciate this. I wake up, 4 o'clock in the
And
morning.
you're like, oh, that
I'm
was it.
recording it on my iPhone. Complete compositions. I'm talking about lyrical content, beats, music, stops, breaks, bridges, and I'm like going, all right, da, da, and I'd be like, you're a genius. No, I'm not, and I realize that this is coming,
From
from
somewhere.
above, right?
Yeah, it
It's
flows
not
through you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and the situation, like we discussed the artist before, like Mark is I worked with Susan and I, because she's not a songwriter, she's
Right.
an orchestra player. There's a difference.
Right. Yes.
Everybody has their
Juilliard,
talent.
trained, amazing, can read anything you put in front of them. Okay, but write a song. Where do I start? Now, and this is where I say to people, and I said maybe we'll have a chance. We'll all
Yeah.
write a song tonight. People think no, because people the gift that we have from above
Mm-hmm.
is not it is to be able to be creative. That's our gift. That's our gift. To do what we do and to love what we do is
Yes,
a gift.
it's
and
true.
and I look at things and I got called to do a master class on hey, can teach how to write music. I said, you can't teach how to write music. There's no textbook.
No, you could talk
You
and
can
you
put three chords
you could
together.
put things in people's
because
head. Yeah.
whether you do a comedy act, whether you write a movie, whether you write some of the best movies about life experiences,
Yes.
right? And what I try to tell people is like, things come to you from your experiences in life.
Yes.
As musicians and as artists, as
anything,
actors,
right,
and
exactly.
We're here to give a message. We're here to present something so others can take from our message.
Yes.
And so to answer your question, I feel that I'm coming to a point in my life and that I'm finally figuring out why I'm on this earth.
That's a great feeling, isn't it?
It is. And it's scary too because, and I said to someone today that's extremely hierarchy in the industry, I said, listen, it's all or nothing where I'm moving to now,
Yeah.
the step I'm taking. It's not in between.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like it's all or nothing. It's either we're going here,
You hope. Right.
and I'm not even talking about financially.
No.
I'm talking about
Just in general.
in general,
Yeah, right.
or figure out something else to do. It's not about going into it. They say half-ass, right? So and that's it. So basically, I'm out in public. I'm this guy that you're
I
seeing. that
know,
I'm
and I've
talking to
been
you.
watching you everywhere.
And at
I-
home,
yeah.
I'm dad, and my kids, dad. Hey, hi, dad, and and I really appreciate where I am right now,
That's
even
great.
in life and like marriage and things like that,
Yeah.
right? Because I was telling a friend of mine, someone that was working at my house, like, oh wow, how long you been married? I said 25 years, and he said, wow, that's really hard. I said, it is. It's not simple, but once you get to that 25 or 30-year mark,
Yeah, it gets.
you start realizing why you
certain
waited
things,
so
right.
long.
That's
you
very
didn't-
true.
And you're happy that you didn't give up because we could have gave up. My wife should have left me 20 years ago, but she decided not to.
See that? Mhm.
Okay, and there was a reason she decided not to. And so that's where we are. So I tell you, people that have been married maybe 5 years, 6 years, oh, I want to get divorced. I said, that's the easy way out, man.
Yeah.
I said, you think you're going to get divorced and you're going to find somebody else that's just going to love you to death?
Oh, please.
You know what I mean? Or vice versa, right?
It could happen.
Well, listen, if I was in the dating market right now, I don't know where I'd begin.
Well, I tell people how to meet people, and it's not the old-fashioned go on the computer.
No, please.
You go to the diner, and that's where you meet nice guys
public,
at the
in
table.
public. Yeah, and I say, and I try to live my life trying to be as nice as possible
And you
to
are.
people, and you know what? And sometimes you can be nice to a fault, but then who cares? And the other thing I don't want to forget is my whole thing developed. I call it universal love.
I
And
like
this
that.
only developed. I started really understanding it 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it's part of my musical relationships with females. Because where you can love another man, you can
Yes.
love another woman.
Yes.
I mean, you can love them.
Right.
Love.
You don't have to have sex with them, you
Exactly.
love
That's
them.
my point. And so I named it universal love. It's a universal love, and I spread universal love, and people laugh, but I'm like, at times, but then they start
Well,
warming up to it.
sometimes the other people are the ones that make stuff up. That doesn't mean a damn
Well,
thing.
to me, it means listen, I can love Bob, even though if he doesn't know who I am all the time. I can love Rich, I can love you, and I can love her, beautiful that beautiful name she
Well,
has.
Joey,
Debbie
I love
Reynolds.
you.
I love you too. No, no,
We
I mean
love
it.
you, Joey.
No, I love you guys.
Thank
And,
you.
Your story is very.
It's very-
not,
yes.
It's. I'm going to say inspiring.
It is.
But it's very, very impactful.
thank
It
you.
is.
That
It
story.
is.
Thank you.
But
Did you
before we're
ever
going to show a clip, I wanted. What about Joey's room?
Oh yes,
Quickly.
I want to ask you. I want to hear because I know Bob has something.
Did
good to
you
ask.
ever consider writing a book
I-
about?
Thank you.
You're in
I
the
am
middle of
writing
it?
a book.
Yeah,
How
Okay,
music
because-
saved my life.
There
Because
you
it
go.
could help so many people.
Yes,
I mean
and
that's what I get. from
Exactly,
you.
and
Red
and
Penguin.
the reason I'm writing the book is because I lost my mom when I was 13 to cancer.
Wow.
And there's a story behind that too. She would, she was making me wash while my friends were out. She was teaching me how to do laundry, how to cook, and I'm like, Ma, I'm like, 9 years old, 10 years old. I don't want to do this. I want to go out in the street and play. She goes, you will. She goes, just understand, you're gonna need to know this. She put a guitar in my hand at 6 years old.
Yep.
She said, that's going to be your best friend someday.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what she was
Yeah.
talking
Wow,
about.
it's almost like she
knew she was
foresaw what
dying.
was
She
going to
did.
happen.
She knew she
Yeah.
was
She
dying.
planned it. She
and
planned
she
it.
died when I was 12 going on 13.
She was getting you ready.
She was getting me ready. And I didn't realize, and I didn't mourn my mother's death until I lost my son Rocco. Because then what happened was I said, then I realized what loss is.
Yeah,
At 13, I didn't know.
that's very true.
Okay. So, and then now your question, I'm sorry.
Rocco, let's talk about that,
All right, so,
and then we're going to show
so
a
my
clip,
wife,
and
so my wife and I, we after Rocco passed away, we were totally confused. We said, what do we do? We want to start a
Charity.
a 501c3 charity. So we started the Baby Rocco Foundation. And it's wonderful. The Baby Rocco Foundation, since my wife is in medicine, it's about building comfort rooms for families in hospitals when their
unbelievable, really.
child is in a critical situation, or so where it's almost where you can meet with the doctors. You can it's a private room, and they call it the Baby Rocco
that's
rooms.
yeah. I
And,
saw it. It's fabulous.
And we just built another one in New Jersey. I forgot which
Very
hospital.
nice.
One of those hospitals
Wow.
there. My wife's going to kill me. I forgot the name of the hospital. But please forgive me.
That's okay.
Yeah, but bring comfort. And then what I did was I started Rock for Rocco,
Rock for Rocco.
where I can bring all my musical friends and
Wow.
in all genres, not just where it's because my thing to go even further with this, and that's why I went to see Wolfie Van Halen last night, to see him personally, because his birthday is March 16, 316, and my son's birthday is 316.
Wow.
So I felt, he
That's
lost his
karma.
dad, Eddie Van Halen, and Eddie
Wow.
wrote this beautiful piece, 316, when Wolfie was born, and so there was this. I felt, feel this connection with him.
Right.
And listen, everything happens for a reason in the world.
That's true.
So so I saw Rock for Rocco, where because I want to help children. My wife's handling more of the medical end of things,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel that, like my mom did to me, she gave me a guitar when I was 6 years
Sure.
old. I still have that guitar, and it's always next to me.
That's nice.
And I want children to be able. Every child should have a musical instrument.
Absolutely.
Every child should have music in their life. Every
true.
so I wanted to grow, and that's why even like someone like Mark Wood, he works with high schools.
Yeah,
He does a lot with high schools, with children, with orchestras and things like
great.
that. So for me, I want that's my life. As I get older, it's not about trying to be a rock star or like we're talking about the big picture.
Yeah.
Now it's about what. Every school should have music programs.
Absolutely.
Music programs should be funded. And I want Rock for Rocco to be part of that drive and that push. And that's it. And I get a lot of phone calls.
Yeah,
And this is an
sure.
interesting story. I got a call a few months ago from a student that came from Florida to a high school here in New York. Their parents were having problems, so the parents refused to give the child his musical instruments. He wants to play guitar. So that because a lot of parents, they're angry with themselves,
Yeah.
and they punish their children, right? And so I got a call from a stranger. I got your number. Can we do anything for this child? He wants a guitar. And I said, yeah. I said, I'll donate personally from Rock for Rock, or from the foundation, or
Right.
whatever, or out of my pocket. And then I said I would love to do a little, picture with the child and all this. And then the principal or director called me from the school and said, listen, he's extremely embarrassed of the situation. He doesn't want people to know. I said, okay. I said I was doing it just to promote the Rocco
Right,
stuff, you
right.
know. I said I don't have to
Yeah.
take a picture and put them, you know, on social media. Absolutely. Well, are you going to still donate? Of course.
Well,
It's got nothing
course,
to
they
do
don't know
with
who you
me.
are.
I mean, it got nothing to do with me. This is just to, you know, bring attention to the situation
Yes.
that children should have music in their lives.
Yes.
Because when everything else fails, they can go to that instrument. Like
Absolutely.
you guys know, you're entertainers.
Look, they do it.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's so important. And I'm saying this because some of the biggest stars in the world, like Billy Sheehan, you know, the best bass, Eddie Van Halen, the bass, he became my friend.
That's great.
Recorded with me. I went to say, he treats me, you know, sees me, he leaves, he gives me a hug. Hey, what can we, you know, text me, how you
Wonderful.
doing? These are people that are touring the world.
Yeah.
Played Madison Square Garden 100 times over.
Well, I think we need a clip of you, Bobby. I think we need a
All right,
clip.
I'm done
Clip of
talking.
Joey.
That's it.
Let's
you know,
do that.
I
Do
wanna-
that. Nice.
I
Wow.
like that guitar, man. That's cool looking.
Very nice.
Well, that's also inspired by Rocco. It's orange. It's a warning with the warning tape.
Right.
Yeah.
Drive slowly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my whole.
So it's got a
Nice.
message.
You know, it's like
And
here,
we
my
have
picks
a,
have the same color.
We have a clip also from my friend here.
Oh yeah. What do
Rich
you got?
Scotty. What do we got up there, Bobby? What do we have for the rich Mr. Scotty here?
Okay. Digging through the crates, actually the shelf, seeing if Richie still has his vinyl chops. That mix was going in good. Let's see how he's doing. Ah. You like to use the pots instead of the crossfade, like an old school professional real DJ? He rides the speed control instead of dragging a singer like I do a lot of the time. Oh, Ricky, go! What are you trying to do? Ricky, baby. What are you trying to do, Ricky? Vinyl, baby.
Spin in 3 different. I had to spin CDs. Then I had to do with Serato, and then he goes, "All right, now," because we haven't played vinyl in years. And he goes, "Now, get on the turntables." And I nailed it. I got
You know my second cousin, Rick Wonder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your
My
second
cousin,
cousin? Really?
My cousin's kid.
Wow.
Rick
You
Wonder's
know,
one of the big DJs.
When I
out
was
there.
in corporate
Yeah.
America, the best party I threw was Can You Scratch?
Yeah.
But no one knew what it meant. I sent
back
out
in the day.
invitations. 170 people came.
Wow.
And they learned how to scratch videos that night.
Yeah. Awesome.
And it was the best party ever. It was for morale.
That's great.
So I was in charge of fun.
Ah,
Go figure.
well, you made
Go
it fun.
figure.
Yeah, I did.
And you're still making things.
Yeah, but so you know what today is? You know
St.
what's-
Patrick's Day.
No, yeah. But guess what it is? It's a national day. Do you know what it is?
Well,
What?
this-
It's National Cereal Day.
Cereal.
Really?
You got to
Wow.
eat cereal when you go home.
Oh,
And
Some Rice
it's
Krispies.
National Be Heard Day.
be heard.
So
Be
you
heard.
want to be
That's
heard.
important. Yes.
And you're
Everyone
all
wants to be heard.
being heard today.
exactly.
And look at that. And I pulled this out from my things because I thought this was our 150th show. And I forgot I had it. And I thought, well, you're going to be singing. We're going to be singing.
That's all stuff.
Isn't that adorable?
Love it. Love it.
So
Well,
how
we
many-
love
how many
your
shows-
we love your new digs. and-
Today is
You're over 300 shows now.
our
right?
320th show. I'm so
Wow.
proud of it.
We're honored to be here.
320th. And we're so different than when we were. When we started at Governor's. Oh, let's not even go
Oh, I
there.
remember that.
We had to sit
That little room. You had
in
me
a
and
room that was so dirty.
you had me and Dan Amalfi there.
Yeah. This guy
The
from
Bitter
Italy.
End.
Oh, you've been doing it a long time,
Bitter
right?
End is still around.
From
Yeah.
going back to the
But
roots.
I started there, and then I was happy to be there with, I don't know
This
if
is
you know
great,
Joe
though.
Carletto,
This
you
is
know?
I
unbelievable.
know of him. I don't
What a
know.
Yeah,
difference.
he was a good friend of mine. And then Greg Cajuste, who's another good friend of mine. And now I got a new friend, Bobby Lacera, who is,
Bobby does a great job.
he
Yeah,
is
Bobby. Great place.
amazing.
Cheer for
Amazing.
Bobby.
Yeah,
So,
really.
Mr. D'Amato,
Yes.
Where's your clip? Where's those pictures? He's going to be in Bad Boy again.
Oh, you show a couple of the photos of. There's me singing that's as George Steinbrenner singing My Way.
With Ray Negron, who
There's Ray Negron.
I
There's
love
Ray.
Ray. He's a doll. And my family's a Yankee family. My daughter has a Yankee basement.
Wow.
Yes.
And there I am. That's Ray as a kid. That's Carmine.
Right.
Yelling at Carmine right there.
And there's just the way he plays it. He's so good at it.
And there's a couple of things coming up. They're trying to get the show going in Mineola in May.
In a high school?
Yeah, in the high school. And then Steve just texted us the other day something in Glen Cove coming up. I
Really?
think in June.
Oh, that'd be great.
And then he's planning something in Florida again. So I don't know when that's going to be.
So you'll be taking a trip to Florida again.
Yes.
That's great.
And Debbie loves going down because we have friends down there.
Yeah,
we
well,
love going down
it's
there
a
and
weekend
seeing
away.
They're
a week
going to
away.
Europe. They're going to
I
Florida.
get-
They're all over the place.
And I get
Me
to
too.
play George Steinbrenner and say you're fired.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you look like an actor.
Yeah, he is.
Well, you both.
He does
do.
a lot of theater.
Hey, no, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
awesome.
Peter Rabanero says hello.
Oh.
He was just in Vegas, so
Really?
he saw that I was going to be on the show. He goes, I just saw Tina, so he says hello.
I love him.
Yeah, he's.
I love everybody.
You should. Why not?
Patrick says
Universal
She-
love.
she puts
Universal,
people
I love that. I
Universal
want to
love.
talk to you about that.
Puts
Oh, yeah,
people
listen,
together.
I'm marketing
that,
the whole
Joey.
thing.
I
And
love it.
marketing it because it to me, it means something.
It's so true.
I was at a restaurant and they're like, "Hey, you're the Universal Love guy." I'm like, like the Geico or the.
We could do a whole show on that.
Oh,
because you're so
absolutely.
right, because
Absolutely.
people get cringe. Like what you said before, we could love somebody
Yeah.
because people will go, "Oh, but you got a wife. You got
Yeah.
no.
That
You
doesn't
can still
matter.
love somebody."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I get that.
Exactly.
I like I said, I work with a lot of female artists.
Yeah.
And it's very, and it takes a lot because you get passionate about things.
Yes. Right.
You become friends, and right away people are like, oh, you guys are sleeping together. You guys, and it's like
No way.
it looks that way, but
It's not the
I
way it
just
is.
really love this person.
Right.
And
Exactly.
thank God my wife knows that she's been with me long enough to know how crazy I am. So
Well,
basically.
but that's good.
She accepts it.
I say crazy
But there's
is
got to
good.
be a word for it, and universal love is really it.
It's
You're
a
an
good
impactful
word.
person, Joey.
Thank
You are.
So
and
That's how I
thank you
see
so
it.
much.
Great,
Thank you.
great.
Thank you.
So, Bob,
Yes.
what's the next thing? Like, what's the next event? Like,
Next event is Cassiaranos.
Sunday?
Sunday the 24th.
Oh, okay.
And in between, I do my assisted living places.
Right,
and,
right.
Things like that. So.
okay.
And then we're off for a while.
all right. So this goes in your glove compartment. This is my friend Frank. He's a car guy when you have an accident.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Frank.
You put in your
Oh.
glove compartment. It's all the questions you gotta ask,
Okay.
and you call Frank. He's a dog.
Very good.
He's another one. He's been with the Breakfast Club since day one.
Yes, I know. Frank.
Gotcha.
Yep. And so what are we gonna do? You're gonna head
You
off
want me
with a
to-
nice song?
You want me to end with a song?
Yes.
Why don't we end with a song? We're going to do it in tribute to Tony Orlando.
Okay.
Tony is retiring this month. He's going to be at the, I believe he's going to be at Resorts next week in Atlantic
Mm-hmm.
City. And then his last show will be on March 22nd at Mohegan Sun. So Tony has been at it a very long time, as we all know. Great entertainer.
Love Tony.
And he's another one of those guys I think should be in the Kennedy Center honors.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
done so
yeah.
much
I
for
think we
veterans.
should too. That's
Yes,
yes.
Without a doubt.
Well, I'm trying to get it going. I send in the
Oh,
application.
that's great.
Oh, you
Let's
do
do-
that? You know how to do that?
Let's do tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree in
Okay.
honor of Tony. Okay.
There you
Here
go.
we go, Bobby. Thank
Good
you.
stuff. Thank you, Bobby, for everything.
All right, is everybody ready? Here we go. I thought we were going, Rich. Why didn't you say
Acapella,
something?
acapella, baby.
Acapella. Here we go. All right.
Here we go.
Let's see who has time.
Look at that.
I know. I'm coming home, I've done my time. Now I've got to know what isn't mine. If you've received my letter telling you I'd soon be free, then you'll know just what to do. If you still want me, if you still want me.
This is yellow.
We'll tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years, do you still want me? If I don't see that ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see that yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. Tony, congratulations on a great career.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Bus driver, please look for me. 'Cause I couldn't bear to see what I might see. I'm really still in prison, and my love, she holds the key. A simple yellow ribbon's what I need to set her free. I wrote and I told her, please, come on, chorus. Won't tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years, do you still love me? If I don't see that ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see that yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. Tony Orlando, 60 years doing it. God bless him, right?
Yes. Terrific.
March 22nd, Mohegan Sun.
Let's
He's
go.
done it all. Tony, we're coming. Here we go. Now the whole damn bus is cheering. And I can't believe I see 100 yellow ribbons round the old oak tree.
Great tune.
I'm coming home. And this song became synonymous with the veterans coming home from Vietnam in '73. Tie a ribbon round the old oak tree. Tie a ribbon round the old oak tree. Tie a ribbon round the old oak tree. And by the way, that was Dawn in the background. Tie a ribbon round the old oak tree. Tie a ribbon round the old oak tree. God bless you, Tony. Many more years of happiness and great showmanship. Thank you. Thank you,
And
Valentina.
we have a great sponsor today.
All Music Inc. in Plainview, the old style homeschool type of music store, supporting local musicians. Guy Bronia is the owner. Go by there. Tell him Joey Gem sent you. Thank you so much, Guy, for sponsoring me here tonight, and I really appreciate it.
And thank you to my DJ here, Rich Scotty,
Rich.
sponsoring, and Bob D'Amato.
Thank you.
And next week is really St. Patrick's Day, but we started early, and why not?
We'll be
And-
back next week.
Yes. And
With the green.
remember, have some of that Irish food from now until next week.
Yeah.
Corned beef and cabbage, baby.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
universal love
Valentina.
to everybody. We
And
love
Great
you.
show.
you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Raining
Ron.
Mix
Thanks, Tina.
today. It was great. That's it. That's